The Mayans and the Egyptian left us pyramids. The Native Americans and the Celts left us stone circles. The Hindus and the Buddhists left us temples. And the Christians left us churches and cathedrals. This is the vision of the celestial center of time that will function as a modern example of archeoastronomy. It is the grand unification of art, architecture, symbol, and science into a multi-purpose building to inspire physical and mental alignment and reconnection to the natural time cycles and the celestial light. The center will function as a tourist destination, a sundial, a calendar, a celestial observatory, a museum and gift shop, an education center for workshops and presentations, a transformational, sacred, inspirational gathering space for non-denominational parties, celebrations, entertainment, weddings, funerals, and memorials. Entrance to the center is from the north, symbolic of rebirth through the spiral portal of perspective. This design mirrors how the sun's energy enters to the earth at the poles through the aurora borealis. The tunnel passes through the pillars of light and dark, correlating to the AM and PM. The path then leads to 6 evergreens, representing the 6 dark months of the year. Earth berming and evergreens on the north side of a building also function as windbreaks and are integrative passive solar design attributes. The path then leads to the fire of transformation. This fire pit is in the center and is designed like a compass with 12 months. This is the place for drumming, shamanic dancing, and storytelling around the fire at night. The phoenix on the door beyond appears as if it's rising out of the flames of the fire, and is also a symbol of rebirth. Like the Roman god Janus, the phoenix has 2 faces. One faces to the east and the future, the other to the west and the past. Above the phoenix is the pyramid and the 3rd eye, representing the 7th chakra, and the center cross, representing the wisdom and resurrection of consciousness. Around the crystal dome in the center are 7 obelisks, capped with mirrors to reflect sun rays at different angles throughout the year. The obelisks align with sunrises on the solstices and equinoxes. The first obelisk to the east marks the location of the summer solstice sunrise on the Tropic of Cancer. The second obelisk marks the location of the spring and fall equinox sunrise. In the spring, the sun will pass over into the northern hemisphere. The third obelisk marks the location on the horizon of the winter solstice sunrise on the Tropic of Capricorn. In the direction of the south, we will have the stained glass sculpture of the 3D white light centered in between 6 deciduous trees representing the 6 months of increased light of the south. The sculpture reveals another fractal-like representation of the whole center and is symbolic of the sunlight. The fourth obelisk marks the location of solar noon of the daily cycle, and this obelisk will also function as the gnomon of a sundial to reveal the movements of the shadows because of the changed angle of the sun throughout the 4 seasons. The fifth obelisk marks the location on the horizon of the winter solstice sunset on the Tropic of Capricorn. The sixth obelisk marks the location on the horizon of the spring and fall equinox sunset. In the fall, the sun will pass into the southern hemisphere. The seventh obelisk marks the location on the horizon of the sunset of the summer solstice on the Tropic of Cancer. The obelisks will not only mark the yearly cycle, but they will also show the interesting shadows throughout the daily cycle. On the top of the building is the 3D mind map of the crystal dome of conscious revolution. The ceiling represents the heavens, and the walls represent the life cycles and symbols of man. The floor represents the symbols connected to the earth. The ceiling is painted black and has small pieces of mirror stars arranged as the constellations. There will also be planets hanging from the ceiling in their accurate positions around the central crystal representing the sun. The ceiling will have a narrow south-facing roof window in the center of an analemma. The light comes in throughout the year and shines into the crystal at the winter solstice. The apparent path of the sun during the Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn are also arched on the southern side of the ceiling. The walls around the room display information about each of the 12 months, beginning with the month of vision, to plan, to action, to the spring equinox, to hope, to manifest, to nurture, to the summer solstice, to growth, to result, harvest, to the fall equinox, to preserve, to reflect, to wisdom, back to the winter solstice. And each month will have different colored stained glass windows with a shutter that is open during the respective time of year. The floor of the dome shows the light patterns of the earth and position of the moon as it goes around the sun. When we come out of the dome, we see that it can also function like a pulpit to address a crowd or like a stage for a band. It is also perfect for a wedding because the steps make a beautiful cascading wedding picture. The bottom story is a large gathering room with more passive solar designed south-facing greenhouse windows with a garden and with the Aquarian calendar clock mandala centered on the ceiling above. To the left side is a server kitchen and a storage room. On the right side is a bathroom and a multi-purpose room. As you leave the center of time, you'll see that the north wall is engraved with memorials similar to the Vietnam Memorial Wall. Then you pass back through the portal of perspective, completing the cyclical journey. What will it take to bring this vision to reality? Finding the right people by forwarding this YouTube to others who might be interested. I seek investors, benefactors, collaborators, or business partners who share the vision. I'm also looking for a philosophical heir from the future generation who is dedicated and passionate about this project. This would be someone who is willing to work relentlessly without monetary compensation, carrying on the torch for this effort after I pass on.